put your phone down. Like, if you're with someone, having a coffee, having a dinner, honestly, put your phone down, because it's better to be interested than interesting.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the third episode of Akashic Records. I'm Acacia Daniel, and today I'm here with the one and only, my mentor, Jack Morlen.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So nice to have you here.
Pleasure.
So you are the head of music relations for Global. Could you tell us a bit about that?
I mean, it's an incredible job and I really enjoy it, firstly. I've been at Global now for around 5.5 years. And basically, I work with the music team, so sitting across Capital Playlist, Capital Extra Playlist. I also look after a lot of what we do with artists. So that will be promo for maybe our Capital Breakfast show, our digital platforms. I also look after the lineup for Summertime Ball, Jingle Bell Ball, you know, if we do anything with Ibiza, with Capital Dance, or Upfront with Capital Extra. So basically, most sort of artist relations,
everything exciting.
A little bit of everything, yeah. It's one of those jobs.
Lovely. And how did you get into this role in the beginning?
I've always had such a huge passion for music. I kind of grew up in a very musical family. I went to performing arts school, which I was very fortunate to go to in London. And then I kind of took a few years out and was wanting to work out what I wanted to do. So I went over to fashion for a little bit. I worked for Jimmy Choo, which was great fun. Very different to the music industry, but you know, I learned a lot from it. And then had a great opportunity to come work for Global. I was actually asked to join the company and create a role in the sort of group programming talent team. Started there as a guest bookings assistant.
Right.
Then worked very hard, and my main goal when I first started was to find those sort of exciting new artists. I think one of the first artists that I booked to come in was Billie Eilish at the time, and I was always like, I love this girl. I was like, it was Ocean Eyes. I was such a fan. I'd seen her live, and I was just determined to get her in. And she actually came in. I think it was my birthday, and I was only in the company for the first. I was excited. I was like, the girl's in on my birthday.
This is the best birthday present ever.
Yeah, I'll send you the photo. It's I got a picture with her shamelessly, but I was just such a fan at the time, still am. And then within months, she just blew up into this massive star that she is now.
Right. So you were there from the beginning.
I felt like I tried to be. I'm sure there were people there that were earlier than me, but I was just such a fan, and I still really try and do that now. You know, amongst all the noise and chaos of the job, I really try and champion new artists. It's really important to me.
Lovely. Obviously, no 2 days are the same in the office or outside.
They're not.
So what does a day in your job kind of look like? Just like a specific sort of day?
Yeah, it's hard to actually pinpoint that. Like you said, no day is the same. Some days you'll find yourself kind of glued to the laptop. You know, there's a lot of prep for playlists, a lot of listening to a lot of music.
Very fun process though.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, it's super duper fun, but you just want to try and stay on top of your work. There's loads of schedules and stuff for artist promo. You know, we put like breakfast, digital time, Big Top 40 chart time, maybe podcasts. You kind of got to piece those schedules together to work well for us, but they've also got to work well for the record labels and the artists to make sure you're not overdoing it with their time, or, you know, not getting enough content from them. So there's a lot of that, and a lot of planning, a lot of emails. And then the other side of it is there's, you know, lots of amazing meetings, and you get to meet some incredible US teams, some UK teams, meeting artists and listening to new music.
Yeah.
Lunches and dinners, you know, I'm sure everyone knows music industry can be quite schmoozy. So
it's all about networking, I guess.
100%.
Yeah.
I've spent my, you know, I think quite a lot of growing up actually around some pretty fun and cool people, and I always try my best to talk to people. I think, you know, one bit of advice I can absolutely give is be present, you know, ask questions, say hello, don't be scared. It will get you further than you think.
Right.
Yeah.
And did you find it hard, like in the beginning, to sort of like adapt to different personalities?
No, I've always been very comfortable just going up to people and saying hello.
Like, hi,
you know.
Can we be friends?
Yeah, totally. And I think a lot of people get kind of freaked out by hierarchy. They get freaked out by this person is a manager for this artist, or this person runs this company, or they're a president here.
And like their status.
Yeah, it's never fazed me. And I just, you know, you meet some of the wealthiest and most important people, they're just the nicest, kindest, caring, generous people. Yeah. And I think you just have to sometimes look past the facade and look past what you think you know about someone, and just kind of go say hello, and you'll be surprised how embracing and kind people can be. Especially when you're the one, you know, taking the leap and going, hi, I'm Jack, you know, nice to meet you.
Oh, amazing. And obviously, like, if you had to describe your job in like 3 words, what would you say?
Oh, exciting,
Okay.
creative,
Definitely.
stressful. I just don't want to describe the job like that, but it's you know, I'd be lying if I didn't say it. It's time consuming. You know,
Yeah.
it's a 24/7 job. You know, there's teams all over the world, and you know that something always needs to be fixed or created, or a phone call needs to be had. So,
Right.
and I actually, I'm a very odd human in that I thrive off of that kind of stress. Like, I enjoy the pressure. I
Yeah.
enjoy, you know, the overworking and the
The adrenaline that gives
yeah.
you.
I'm definitely a bit of an adrenaline kind of guy, but
Yeah. Because you always feel like you're doing something. In that
totally,
way.
I'm a kind of fixer. I
Mhm.
like to be there and be present and make things happen.
Yeah. And what do you, like, going back to what you said before, what are other sort of things that they don't really tell you before getting into the job that you may not realize that you need?
I wouldn't go into the music industry with money on your mind.
Right.
I think a lot of people think music industry and just see like cash
Ka-ching.
signs.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not that. I think most people in this industry do it because they love the music. They love the artists. They love the creativity. They just have a massive passion for what we do. You know, you'll meet some people out there and they genuinely, hand on heart, do it because they love it.
Yeah.
So I would 100% say that's like the main thing. You should kind of go into the music industry with that mindset.
Right. Come from a point of ambition and
Totally. You know,
Yeah.
do it because you love it.
Who are some of the most exciting people that you've met in your career besides Billie Eilish?
I feel like I've watched this girl's journey for a very long time, and I'm very grateful to say that she's, you know, we have spent a lot of time together, and she's just a sweetheart. But Ray is one of the most, music aside, because we all know that she is just a genius. She's just the nicest, genuine, humblest
Yeah.
human being I think I've ever met, and she can walk into a room and just fill it with light.
That's
No matter
beautiful.
where she
Yeah.
goes. And honestly, watching her, I was at the Brits, and everyone's there. I texted her before and I was like, "You've got this, you're gonna smash this." And I just remember being there, like, tears coming out my eyes, because I was
Yeah.
genuinely like, damn, like,
She's
you,
come so
you
far.
did this. Yeah, but I'm
Yeah.
like, you just, all I was thinking was, you did this.
Mhm.
No one else, no one did this for you. No major label, no, do you know what I mean? You're
did
the
it
talent, you're
herself.
the writer, you're the creator, you're the artist, you're the person, you're the brand, you're the marketing.
Yeah.
She's, you know, she's one of the most exciting artists and humans that I've been fortunate to meet and come across.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like every room she steps in, you know that it's full of love
That's
for her
when
and
you know-
appreciation. And that's
yeah.
also how she's like built her fan base a lot.
Yeah.
Not just because of her talent, because of just how she is as a person.
For sure.
Wonderful. Anyone else?
I think, you know, artists aside, one of the best parts of, I would say, my job with the people, the industry, they're just hilarious.
Yeah.
They're, you know, we all get caught up in very stressful situations, and it's fun and it's exciting, but they just make it so much more enjoyable.
Yeah.
They're so lovely and they're so passionate, and like I said, all the way from the top to all the way to the bottom, they're all the same. They're all great. They're all amazing people.
Mhm.
So, you know, not one particular person, but I'm very grateful for the industry I work in because of the people.
Lovely. And so we recently went to a launch event for Jess Glynne's new album, which was
We
very
did. That was
exciting.
good fun.
I was so happy, so very excited. Thank you so much for letting me come.
Always.
But I want to ask quickly, what was your favorite song from the album?
So, I mean, so there's a song we're actually playing on Capital at the moment. It's her sort of, I think, lead single from this project, and it's called Easy.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it just kind of sums up Jess Glynne, because she's always been that. She's always come with that music that is, it's the party music, it's the dance music, it's the feel good anthems. You know, it's what she's known for. So hearing Easy for me was just like, it took me back to, you know, the old school Jess Glynne vibes, the nostalgic Jess Glynne.
Yeah.
So I would go with Easy, but the body of work itself, and you know, because you were there in the beanbags listening.
Oh, the beanbags
The
were so nice.
beanbags.
Honestly, that was
I
such a
know.
vibe.
Especially when
Such a
she
vibe.
hit the ballads, I was like, "Don't make me fall asleep, Jess."
Yeah.
They're tunes. She's worked very hard, and she's
She's an amazing creator.
just amazing creator, and
Absolutely
again,
amazing.
an amazing person.
Yeah. You are the youngest person. Are you the youngest person? Yeah, you're the youngest person to work on the Capital Extra playlist team. So going back to that quickly, say.
Oh, I might be, yeah.
Yeah.
God, that makes me feel young. Thank you for that.
Good.
I think I might be.
So what was the first song and what is your favorite song that you guys added to the playlist that you had input in?
It's such a good question. I think it was a couple of years ago when I first joined that meeting, and I'm trying to think of what songs. I think I know what it was, and I need to remember to get it right, but it was the Tion Wayne, the Russ, the Artie, Body.
Yeah.
It was Body, right?
Yeah,
Body,
was it?
yeah? I'm looking
Yeah.
off camera for advice. It's Body.
Yeah.
And I remember hearing it and being like, why are we not playing this? This is an absolute tune. Like,
Yeah.
and it just blew, you know. So I always kind of had always heard music and I was like, nah, that would be great. Another
You
one I
had the
remember,
ear for it.
it was Dip, which I think was Stefflon, and it was just like those records to me, they're the vibey records that extra kind of strive to play.
Yeah.
Gets you going, gets you partying. That's the vibe that, you know.
It just fits with the brand so well.
Totally. We're all about that sort of bring the energy, bring the fun.
And what kind of challenges did you face in your career and like how did you overcome them like throughout the span of your whole career at Global?
For me, I finished school at 16. I didn't do any further education. And I kind of went straight into music. I was an artist myself. I did a little bit of singing here and there.
Yes, we know.
So I kind of jumped straight out of that and straight into the creative industry, which I love. And I learnt a lot of sort of skills outside of college and uni and those sort of places. So the challenge I think I had was going into a company that was full of such intelligent, educated professionals.
Right.
Obviously a lot of creatives, but there's a lot of people that really know their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I didn't want to be out of my depth. So the challenge was to learn fast and
adapt.
Yeah. You know, it's not about like pretending to know what you're doing. It is actually being able to know what you're doing and understanding the conversations, understanding what people are saying in a room and taking that on board. So for me, I was just a gigantic sponge.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to learn everything from everyone now.
Yeah.
And I was just taking opportunities where I could, and I was picking up the phone where I could, and I was going for the coffees and going for the late night drinks, and I was going to the gigs and the events and literally anything that came my way. I was like, I'm there.
Mm-hmm.
And I tried my best to learn from the best. You know, I've actually...
That's the only way you can. And
Totally.
really.
And you talk about obviously like your biggest challenges. I'm very, very fortunate. I have a boss called Mark Finlay, who's our sort of group head of talent, music and artists. And he's a phenomenal manager and he's been an incredible mentor and still is to me. So I think, you know, I'm fortunate in that sense. I hear a lot of horror stories of people having quite tricky managers at times. But
at least you have someone in your corner.
He I hope sees a little bit of him in me, and he's incredible. Yeah.
Amazing. Can you tell us about any sort of memorable experiences or highlights you've had working in music relations? I know you talked about a lot of like events and people that you've met, but any sort of like specific
highlights?
Yeah, highlights.
I think being able to travel, it's something I've always wanted to do, and I didn't really do enough of growing up. So this year, I mean, I was in LA in January and New York in March, and even having that opportunity to just meet other passionate creatives on the other side of the world, for me, those are the highlights, you know, sitting down and hearing people talk so passionately about what they do in LA and in New York and in other countries, and it just makes you realize we're all in the same boat. Like we're all striving for the same thing, which is incredible music and embracing and harnessing artists and giving them longevity.
And being able to share that with everyone.
You know, when I hear a song, I don't sit and listen to it by myself. I'm like, ping, 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 ping. I'm like, everyone's got to hear this.
Yeah.
Like, you've got to like it. You've got to like it. You've got to like it. So, yeah, sharing, it's like what you just said, sharing the music is what it's all about.
Sharing the vibe, sharing the energy as well.
Totally.
What are your top 3 tips for young people going into such a competitive industry?
Don't be scared to ask questions is the first tip I would definitely give. And no matter how silly or dumb you might think they are, just ask, because there's no point guessing. You know, you learn a lot from asking people around you questions is the first tip advice I would give. The second bit of advice, I'd say be present and show up.
Right.
A lot of people kind of go, oh, I can't be bothered to do that, or I'm going to snooze my alarm and maybe stay in bed a little bit longer. It's like there's nothing more important than being present,
Because you don't know if that opportunity is the thing that takes off.
Totally. And I mean, I'm guilty of it, and I'm sure everyone is, but put your phone down. Like, if you're with someone, having a coffee, having a dinner, honestly, put your phone down, because it's better to be interested than interesting.
Yeah.
So, make sure you're asking those questions and being present in the room. And then I guess the third bit of advice, it would just be love what you do. Honestly, love what you do. And if you don't love it, it's most probably not for you. The best work comes out of love and passion. So those are my 3 off the top of my head bits of advice. I've most probably got another 100 for you, but yeah.
You can come back and tell us more then.
Part 2, you'll have a few more.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people would love to be able to take that on, and something like, especially the kind of put your phone down, is something that our generation needs.
I do it
a lot. Yeah. Even though we are all connected via social media and via everything, it's good to kind of be in the moment, be present with someone, and actually see who they are.
Hey, I'm guilty of being in a 3-hour TikTok hole. There's no shame, but just pick your moments.
I have to say, your Insta story is basically my mini news outlet. Apart from personal connections, how do you stay up to date with like trends and developments within the industry?
See, and this is the other side of the phones. I am on TikTok. I check Shazam. I'm on Instagram. I'm on every social media platform.
Yeah.
I follow everyone that I think, has a story to tell or posts interesting or exciting music or is at shows. For me, I just embrace everything around me, and I try and be as in the middle of the noise as possible. I go to all the gigs of all the new artists, but I'll go to all the gigs of the big established artists. It's just kind of being amongst the noise. You've got to be in it.
Yeah,
to
and listen out for
understand
the
it.
good things.
Totally.
To be able to
listen to everything.
Yeah.
You've got to listen to everything.
Yeah. And finally, what are some of your personal goals and aspirations within the media industry, and where do you see yourself in the future?
So it's always a really tough question, because when I first started 5 years ago, you could have asked me that question then, and I would have never said where I am now. But what I did do was just work hard and all the hours and put in all the time and effort and energy. So the goals are big. The goals are really big. I want to keep going. I don't take no for an answer. I will ask the same question that I got a no to over and over until it becomes a yes. I don't believe in no.
Yeah.
And if you do, create your own opportunities. Don't be scared. Be greedy with your career and with your future. So I don't think I could tell you exactly what the end goal or the next step is, but I hope it's big, and I hope it's exciting, and I hope I can keep doing what I love doing, which was championing artists and championing new artists and helping people. You've been an incredible mentee, and I've learned as much from you as I hope you've learned from me. So I appreciate you having me on this podcast too.
Oh, thank you so much for coming, and
you.
good luck in everything you do in your career, because with your
too.
mindset, you're going to take off.
Hey,
So
same with you. So thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.